And welcome to Module 2, the right audience. Now, to me, determining the right audience is one of, if not the most important piece of your entire mail campaign. Everybody focuses on the letter, what to write and how to write it. Well, I'm telling you, if you really got your data, your audience dialed in, you know who and why you're targeting, the letter almost writes itself. So as always, we try to keep this to 5 to 7 minutes so we can go ahead and get you taking action right away, getting out there, dropping some mail, and closing some deals. So our goals for this module, determine what the sweet spot is for your mailer, how and where to find the right data, and finally how to order and export your target list. Now, I know you're saying it's so simple to export a list, but I'm telling you how we do this from our data provider is very important for when we get a little bit further into the actual sales section of this course. So who is your audience? Well, the first thing you need to do is sit down and really spend some time knowing what your company does better than your competition. I mean, everybody's so interested in FHA streamlines and VA IRRRLs right now, but you need to go ahead and find a way to give yourself a little bit of a competitive edge. Do you have that niche product? Manufactured homes is a great one. I know you're shaking your head right now saying, I never touch a manufactured home. Well, a couple years back, rates were higher than they are today. Or for a company, we did manufactured homes. We had a great program. Rates were competitive. It really wasn't as one or two more steps than doing a standard FHA streamline or VA IRRRL. And we targeted those. Let me tell you, we had great response ratios, great conversion ratios, and they weren't that big of a deal. Again, because we knew the guidelines and we did them very well. The USDA streamlined the pilot program. They have access to that. On IRRRLs, do you have a 120-month recoup, versus a 36 that some companies have? Do you have unbelievable ARM pricing? Something of that nature. Again, something that you can find that gives you a little bit of a competitive edge. And also, in line to that, it was, what are you strong at selling? Again, everybody loves the FHA streamlines and the VA IRRRLs, but if you're not comfortable with selling an IRRRL, you're not comfortable with an IRRRL program, you're not comfortable with the veteran borrower, do you really want to be mailing to that just because interest rates are low right now? I'm telling you the answer is no. You want to make sure that you are lining up with what your with what your company does well, as well as what you sell well. The two of those together are going to give you a synergistic effect. Essentially, 1 and 1 will equal 3 because your company does it well and you do it well. So here's some basic ideas for mail campaign. None of these should be a surprise to you. Obviously, the FHA streamline, everybody does them, everybody loves them. FHA full doc, one of the things that we've seen success with some of our clients has been taking the FHA full doc, targeting the FHA streamline, but using the FHA full doc letter. So we're marketing a lower interest rate and a lower APR to the streamline customer. Why? Well, because everybody's receiving streamline mailers. You go in with that FHA full doc and you can give them a lower interest rate, a lower APR, greater savings in the short term, greater savings over the life of the loan. It's up to you to go ahead and sell that and demonstrate that, obviously. But who cares if they get an appraisal, if they send in a couple W-2s and a couple pay stubs? Not that big of a deal. Plus, if you don't have someone coming to the table with a payment, that can go ahead and kind of weigh that in your favor as well. FHA ARM to fix, FHA ARM to ARM. I love ARM to ARM. Targeting FHA and VA data, that interest rate, the ARM is expired or has already expired. Why? Well, because I can go ahead and put them another 3-1 or 5-1 at this point, and someone's already done the hard work for me. They've already gone ahead and sold them on the concept of taking advantage of the ARM mortgage or the 5-1 or the 3-1 hybrid, whatever you call it. So again, that's one of my favorite things to target. Obviously, the VA IRRRL, similar to FHA streamline, everybody does them, everybody loves them. FHA cash out, conventional to VA. I'm not talking about paying off a bunch of debts. I'm talking about targeting veteran borrowers who are in a conventional mortgage, potentially an FHA mortgage, and converting them to a VA. It converts very well. Again, one of the misconceptions with these VA loans is I hear it all the time, you can only use your VA benefit once. Well, that's obviously not the case. And look, kind of off topic here, if you're not comfortable with the VA mortgages, it's probably the best loan type out there, in my humble opinion. You want to check out the Military Mortgage Boot Camp. It really is a full, comprehensive VA training taught by one of the top VA trainers in the entire industry. So you'll go ahead and take a look at that. I'll go ahead and I'll include the link to that down below. Obviously, the VA are all armed to fix, similar to the FHA. HARP, I know not a lot of people are really targeting HARP these days. They've been hit very hard over the years. So I'm telling you right now, if you mail potential HARP conventional customers, you can go ahead and you may not have the world's greatest response ratio, but your conversion ratios will be extremely high. And look, that's all I care about. I don't care if I have 100 people call in or 10 people call in. All I care about is how many loans I convert. And finally, FHA MI elimination. Again, another conventional program right there. Potentially taking someone who's in FHA mortgage, moving to conventional without the MI. So let's talk about data acquisition. We go to listsource.com. So if you're at ListSource, you're not a member already, just simply click on Register Now. Fill out all this information. It's free. You don't have to give a credit card or anything of that nature to join. And once you go ahead and have it in there and you're signed up, you want to go ahead and actually get to creating your list. So once you're in it, just click Create Your Own. You want to start off with geography. Come in here to state, and then pick the state that you're going to be, or states that you're targeting. So I'll pull up all your data. See, I picked Alabama here. So we have 2 million, over 2 million on our list right now. Obviously, we're not going after that. So let's go ahead and take a look at our criteria for this. Some of the things you want to look at is primary loan type. You can look at the loan rate type, so ARM or fixed. They have an interest rate in here, and I included it. I don't really use it. I think on the ARM data, you'll find that the interest rates are accurate. The fixed rate data, I just really haven't seen. I haven't had much success with that in the past. Mortgage origination date, I think, is one of the most important. Now, if you take a look at our slide right here, I took this snapshot from Mortgage Coach, which if you don't have Mortgage Coach, again, amazing tool. Definitely help you convert more loans. It's one of those things you don't have to close one loan and it will pay for itself for the year. And I promise you, you will close much more than one loan. And I'm talking about loans that you didn't think you were going to close. They just sent a proposal out to someone. They wound up getting back to you, that type of thing. So again, take a look at that. You can see I have included a chart here for the last 2 years, July 2014 to July 2016. You can go further back than this and when you're doing your analysis for who you want to target, and look at times where rates were higher. So obviously when we're down here, rates are higher. When we're up here, rates are better. So right here is a good time. Obviously right in here is a good time. The dates, if you go further back, you'll see really going back to what May, I want to say 2012, May 2013, you'll see an increase in the interest rates. So really go ahead and take a look. That's a great time to target people. So you select your criteria right here. Let's start off with our primary loan type, and let's look at FHA. So just bear with me while this will calculate. So we got 71,000. Let's look at our amount right here. I'm a big fan of 200,000 to 400,000, but I think based off the state we're looking at here, we're going to do 100 to 150 to 400. So we simply add that here. And just bear with me. So one of the things, let me go ahead and I'll tell you about this while this is adding or processing a request here, is when you're doing FHAs, there's an opportunity for reverse mortgage information to pull in. Real quick, see we are up to 22,000 for our data right here. So let me show you this real quick. You want to click on reverse mortgage. You have the opportunity to exclude reverse mortgages from this. What you want to do is you want to click on this and want to calculate to see how many reverses potentially could come in here. And if it's only 100 or 200, just keep on no preference. The reason for that is it's going to add a cost to your data to have that filter on there. So you see we're at 22,446. So if I exclude the reverses right here, it shouldn't be that many. So that was 2,000 right there. So that might 1,500. It might be worth putting that on here. But what you'll find out is you take a look at how many you have in there. There have been times I've only come up with 200 200, 250 pieces of data, whatever the case may be. For the reverse mortgage, it's not worth the additional cost. Again, it can be 5 cents, I believe, per piece of data. So again, if you're ordering 2,000 pieces of data, that can add up fairly quickly right there. So again, now I've selected my origination dates, and I've thrown mid-July through the beginning of 2016 or 2014 through the beginning of 2016. Again, do your research, know what you're comfortable with and what you want to target with that. And after that, we'll pretty much have ourselves a target list here for FHA. So we got 6,200 on this. Let's go back to that reverse mortgage filter right there again. So you have 6,200. I exclude the reverses. I bet this will go down to about 6,000 at the most, 5,900 potentially. So 5,800. So 5,900 wasn't that far off. So not a whole lot in there as far as the reverse mortgages go. So I'm going to choose the no preference right there. I'm not too concerned with the reverse data in there. Now I'm going to go ahead and go to property, click pre-foreclosure, make sure I hit exclude. That's going to make sure that, again, as it says, there's no pre-foreclosure information on there. This is not credit score data, so we're not going to Equifax or Experian and saying give me, no delinquencies or late in the last 12 months, give me a 620 credit score and above. So we got to kind of take our chances with this. Demographics I don't really mess with right there. Foreclosure I don't mess with. Options I'm typically going to select owner occupied. I want to exclude a trustee owned property and as well as the corporate owned property. And then once I have all that, I want to click purchase list. And this is where this becomes key to what we're doing here. You want to make sure you click standard mortgage leads. Again, we're at 6,200. I don't need all that. I need 2,000. 2,000 is going to last me for about 2 to 3 months right here. So I'll order 2,000 leads. Suppression, if you ordered anything in the last 180 days, you can suppress those lists to ensure that you don't have any type of duplicate. And there you go. So there's your cost, $220 for data. Again, it'll last you anywhere between 2 and 3 months. So now once you've gone ahead and you've purchased the data, you're going to export them. Pretty simple. You just click on this export button. You can either come up here to click on purchase list, or you'll have pop up for you. Hit export. Do it as an Excel file. Hit next. You want to go ahead and make sure it's upper or lowercase. Hit include. Hit submit. There you go. That's how you go ahead and figure out what you're going to target, where to get the data, how to purchase it, how to export it. So that's a lot of information. Again, the biggest takeaway for this is really know who your target audience is. Really find out what your best program is as far as your company goes, what you're most comfortable with selling as far as the programs go. Give yourself that competitive advantage and really nail down that data. So thanks so much. We'll see you in the next module.